Hello. So, where are we? This week I have got a busy week ahead. I have got 3 gigs to do this week. Tomorrow night I'm doing Comedy in the Crown. Phil is emceeing. I've actually handed over the emceeing duties to Phil for the time being, because what I really need to be doing now is focusing on trying to write new material. So I've got stuff ready for Edinburgh. I am struggling with that a little bit, so I just need to try and focus and get some more stuff down on paper, ready to try it tomorrow night. Then on Wednesday night, the next night, I've got a gig in Reading, and that is at Smoking Hot Comedy, which is Lucas Jolson's gig, and he is the other member of my little group with Rachel, who are doing the Edinburgh show together. So that's going to be quite a good gig to do. I'm going to look forward to doing that one. I think it's Wednesday night, so they've got lots of audience, I think, turn up for that one. So that should be a good gig. I'll get to do some tried and tested stuff. I might sneak in the odd new tiny bit if I can. We'll see. Anyway, so that's Wednesday. And then to end the week, my last gig, Saturday night, is in Windsor, and this is Comedy in the Brewery. So that promises to be really good. I mean, lots of people have told me that this is a really good gig, and I've got 15 minutes to do there. So I just need to use all of the really good stuff that I've got and put that all together and do that on Saturday night. So really busy old week ahead. So why am I talking to you? I should be off writing some stuff. So you've clearly always wanted to know what the station here at St Pancras looks like. This is where I do a lot of my recording, or I have done in the past. Not so much these days, tend to drive everywhere, of course. So last night did Comedy in the Crown, and once again I sat out of the gig, and that's mainly because I'd written some new material, but only like a minute, 2 minutes, and so everyone in the audience had seen all my stuff before, almost everybody. So I kind of didn't want to do the same old stuff again. So I sat out. And even though I sit out of these gigs, I do still feel like I'm part of it. Because I do contribute from the back of the room. I mean, I do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Comedy in the Crown. And here comes your host, it's Bill Hawksworth. Easy to get to the stage from just over there, Lee. We had a shuffle round.
And I also do this.
Sean Spicer, the press secretary for Donald Trump, the mouthpiece for that gas pack. Incredible. He's got an incredible technique of just lying and alternate facts, right? Alternate.
Yeah, and afterwards you just have to say period.
Yeah, 1.5 million, period. So that's a complete fact now, yeah. Fact.
So not big contributions, but that's still part of the night, and it's still my night. And I'm thinking that because I'm not putting myself on the gig at the moment, or I'm not putting myself down as the MC anyway, I'm trying to force myself into writing new material, because at the moment I'm missing out on these chances of doing new material. It's hard though. It is really hard to write something that you think is going to be good enough to say on stage. So that's kind of what I need to focus on. So just got here, speeded down the M25, M4, and I have just nipped inside, and it's quite full. So this is looking like quite a good gig. I'm really glad I've been able to make it along to this one. I think I should probably go inside and settle down, because it's going to start. We're about 10 minutes late, so it's worth going in and yeah, getting ready for the show.
What do you do?
Just one quick thing before I go on. There is no mic stand, and I love using a mic stand, so I've got an idea. Don't know if it's going to work. I've got my mic stand with me. It doesn't fit. I'm going to I'm going to try something.
That's going to work. Hey, how you all doing? Everyone all good?
Hi, so Reading was good. Look, that's me there. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, Reading was a really nice gig. A really, really lovely gig. I think there were probably around about 50, 60, 70 people there. It was a big old room, as you'll have seen. So it was a really nice gig. It's always good to have a full room like that. And they're all obviously real people as well. We talk about real people, don't we? And it's quite often you'll go to a comedy gig, open mic anyway, and it will be 10 comics. So it's really nice to try your stuff in front of a real audience to see kind of how it really works. So yeah, it was a lovely gig. Really enjoyed it. I was a little bit nervous about it, but it went really well. Yeah, it was good. I kind of missed a few little bits. I missed out a setup and then did a callback on it, and it didn't work. But that's fine. One thing I did, I'm going to play this to you actually. This is one bit that I tried. That I did it last time, which was a new bit. First time I've ever done it. So this is the second time I've done it, and I changed it a little bit. And this is the joke about getting a colouring book for Christmas from my wife, and that it ruined my Kindle. I thought of an alternative version of the same joke where I could talk about a dot-to-dot joke. A dot-to-dot book, and this is how it went.
It's mainly couples tonight, isn't it? No. Is it mainly couples? So Christmas, my wife gave me she gave me a book for Christmas. It was a dot-to-dot book with one of those thick permanent markers in it. Totally ruined my Kindle. I think she's a bit annoyed with me, but I'm just reading between the lines.
So there you go. That was actually a new version of the joke that I did last time, and it works, but it got a groan, which sometimes that's okay. You kind of want to get a groan. You kind of want to change up the sort of jokes you're doing. But I prefer the old one. I prefer the way I did it in the last episode, the way I ended the set, in fact. So it's really worth doing that. And that was definitely an option for the joke, if you like. Right, I'm going to just skip ahead. So in this set, I decided to try two topical references, and that is mainly because a couple of things in my set that lend themselves to talking about stuff that's happening at the moment. And just very briefly, the one here, I've just been talking about the Justin Timberlake bit of my set, the new song. It's not that new anymore, but talking about Justin Timberlake's song. And that song's just been nominated for an Oscar this week. So I was able to reference that like this.
Particularly, that song has just been nominated for an Oscar. Did you hear this on Tuesday? Nominated for an Oscar. Imagine if Justin Timberlake is at the Oscars, turns into a Dalek, it'd be like 2016 all over again with dead celebrities everywhere.
So I was a little bit nervous about doing that as a joke, talking about killing celebrities, but it was so ridiculous that I think it worked. I think that was all right. And then from here we seg into the next bit of my sequence, which is talking about the next song. And I did this line last week as well, which was about Donald Trump, so I'll just play that one for you.
Anyway, that is not the song that I want to play for you tonight. There's another song, if you'll allow me to play it for you. Well, Donald Trump is in, okay, there's no democracy anymore, I'm playing it.
So that was really nice. Just an added laugh, and that is one thing I'm trying to do at the moment, is that I've got my set, and it's got its jokes, it's kind of got its good jokes all the way through it. I think I worked out, and this is really geeky, I worked out on paper that I had one joke every 14 seconds, which is not bad, but you kind of want to up that a little bit, so it's every 10 seconds, so it's just funnier all the way through, just to keep the laughing going. And so I was able to put a little extra joke in, and that is what I'm trying to do with my set at the moment, is try and just punch it up a little bit, make it a bit funnier all the way through. This music set that I've been doing for so long, I know it really well, even though I missed a few little bits out along the way. It went down really well. It was probably, I got a compliment from one of the other acts that was on, saying that it's the best he's ever seen me do it. Rachel has said that to me when I performed it at her gig last year. So I think one reason why it works well is if the crowd really go for it from the start. If the very first joke works, then I kind of snowball with it, and I'm able to get really into it and make it work even better. And that is what happened at this gig. So that was just fantastic. So yeah, it's good. It's going really well, this set, and I don't think I need to get rid of it. I think it still works. Even though the song is quite old now, it's such a memorable song when people hear it that that it's okay to talk about it. I think so. Yeah. Anyway, right. So what have I got next? My next gig is it's Friday today. It's tomorrow, and this is a big Saturday night gig in a brewery, and hopefully it'll be a similar kind of vibe to the Reading gig, maybe a bit more out of control. Because in Reading they were quite well behaved, and no real calling out at all. Maybe a little bit, not much. I imagine that if you do a gig in a brewery, they might be a bit louder. We'll see. So that's a brewery over there. That's where I'm doing my gig tonight. I'm in Windsor, as you already know, because I've told you several times in this podcast. Is it a vodcast now? I think it's a vodcast, isn't it? Anyway, so that's where I'm going to be doing the gig, and luckily the sound is working. It was a bit of hit and miss. The jack was a bit dodgy, but there is another method of getting sound out of the PA, so we should be good to go. I've rehearsed a little bit in the car today, and I haven't really gone through my stuff, and that's mainly because this is a 15-minute gig. So I've got to remember to start my watch when I get on stage, because I always forget to do that, and if I do that tonight, I'm not really going to know how much I've done. I have rehearsed, and it does come to around about 15, and it's okay if I go a little bit over, but I really don't want to go under. So I think I should probably go in and show you where I'm going to be doing the gig tonight. Come with me.
You're so bizarrely polite this evening. Shall we bring in Lee Wilson? Lovely stuff. Please welcome him to the stage. He's coming now.
So Windsor, that was my last gig of the week. it was a tough one as well. I don't know whether they weren't warmed up. No, it wasn't that they weren't warmed up. That's not fair. It was that they're just a bit reserved, and I find that in St Albans as well, in my home gig, that if you do a gig there, then sometimes they can be a bit quiet. And it's not that they're not enjoying it, because I get laughs all the way through, but it wasn't lively. I was expecting it to be quite a bit of a ruckus tonight, but they were well behaved again, a little bit like Reading, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I did okay. One thing though, I'm getting a bit complacent with my music set, and that is at the end. I know it so well that I'm not really rehearsing it, and I'm forgetting bits. So I think I probably need to gig that on its own again, and I might do that on Tuesday at the Crown if I haven't written any more material. But that is my aim, to write some new stuff to be able to do at the Crown. By the way, I'm in a petrol station, because apparently that's where comedians hang out, so I thought, fitting way to end the podcast.